soul family. Check out the weather. Really super hot, one of the hottest days, completely cloudy. It's like monsoon season without the rain. So it's hot and steamy, and there's a lot going on right now. And I've already posted a reading for today, but I had a message that I was meant to send, and it's going out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I love. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to send it out, but I'm going to make it into a reading for everybody else as well. And it's interesting because I was in the middle of doing this, getting it together, and I had a client this morning that I was working with earlier, and I did a long-distance Reiki healing, as well as I was going to be doing a private reading. And as I was getting ready for that, I got all of these messages coming through that I was dealing with this. And so I thought, when that happens, it means it applies to everyone. The messages need to go out. So I'm going to use this for all of us. And I'm going to tell you that right now, for my own private self, I've got somebody that has been. It's funny because when you call somebody, when you say somebody's ghosting you, that's like somebody ghosts you, that they just took off without saying a word, right? But it also means that somebody's like a shadow. So I got somebody shadowing me, a ghost, a phantom that's shadowing me. And I figured out who they are, and they're not happy. They're never going to get what they want. They are the tiger. And remember yesterday when I said this ring fell off, and I knew that this one did not belong to these ones, right? And so this morning, as I was putting my rings on, I realized that the one that's been doing this is a Capricorn. It's a red-headed Capricorn or a jealous Capricorn. Jealousy. See the red eyes? Oh, sorry, you can't see the light. They can't either, unfortunately. But this is a Capricorn, and this person is, chances are the person's gay, which I have no problem with that, and all my gay friends out there know that that's not the issue. I'm just saying. It could be that this is a male with feminine energy, or a gay woman, gay man, whatever. But this one has been doing the binding spells. This one's been trying to fuck things up in my life, and they're not. It came out in my reading. And so that message is going out. I am supposed to talk to you guys. I'm going to shuffle, and I'm supposed to talk to you guys about the fact that, you know, there's been a lot of people dealing with binding spells. People working with that kind of energy, and we're not to be afraid of them because they're ridiculous. Now, I did a big reading the other day, and I chose not to send it out, so I'm going to do a short synopsis on what it was that was coming up. Because what I watched was a man walking around boundaries, right? Somebody walking around the perimeter of somebody else's house, looking into the windows. So looking into the windows is, you know, through your phone, through your internet, spying on you, trying to see if they can get into your head. They'll try and contact you on the phone. They won't say much. You know, they hope that you will say something so that you, basically they're trying to make you paranoid, or they're trying to get you to offer something so they can figure out what's going on. So you just block them. Just block them. And like I said, I did my long distance Reiki healing, and then I did a healing on my twins' highest self and my highest self, our spiritual selves. Total blocking, shielding, healing Reiki meditation, clearing. And called in all of the ascended masters, called on the Reiki team, clearly called in, as I said, their highest self, my highest self. There was a huge release. My body was sobbing. It was about just letting go of the past, letting it go, forgive it, let it go, release it. And it was, wow, intense. But this kept coming up, right? This somebody walking around the perimeters. So it's about sharpening up your borders, and making sure that your energetic borders are really, really tight and clean. And that's what I worked on with us, to make sure that there were no attachments, no toxic energy within or without, no cords that were binding, because this is what's been trying to have been done to him and to myself. And I'll tell you what they're using. I don't know if you've heard of Santa Murieta. It's a cult, and it's basically from the Spanish tradition. They've broken off from Catholicism. They want to have their own thing, and they want to make it look good, and it's not. They are associated with the LGBT community. They're associated with criminal activity, like big time. This is through Mexican society, right? LGBT community, criminality, drugs. They work a lot with prostitution, sex rings. They pull in the protection from the rival gangs, you know, so that they can get their drug traffickers around. They've got drug houses. You'll see her in drug houses. The symbol of this one, who is basically the Grim Reaper. You know, this is no saint. But what they want to use is a lot of times this is used when people want to bind people in love. They want somebody. They want to hold somebody there, or stop them from moving forward with someone else. And this is what's been going on. So they want to attract a certain lover or ensure their love. They use the red candle to end a bad relationship to start another. They use all of these rituals to increase their love doctor's power, right? This is like a witch doctor. And I'm getting prickles on my left side, which is my heart side. So this is trying to attach to somebody's heart. They use red roses and rose water for passion, for binding. They want the lovers to stay united. They use cinnamon for prosperity. Whatever, they have all these different kind of rituals that they use, but this is devil worship. They will kill people. And remember, I got, oh yeah, you know, this person, they sheltered me, they took me in, they took care of me. Yeah, well, that person killed somebody, but they were they kill for the family. Yeah, they will kill, period. That is not done in the light. This is, and they will pull people in, trick people into doing things, telling parishioners that death is not a person but a phase of life. They trick them. They baptize them and trick them, and it's all about power. This is all about power and mind control. And it's all throughout the United States, brought in by the Mexican immigrants. And I kept seeing the coyotes, right? The coyote is a shaman, but the coyote is also a Mexican drug runner. So they have altars, you know, all around. And they try and make things look, they've got them in Los Angeles, they've got them all over the place. And you may be, you know, like I said, the runaways and prostitution, and they may bring you in, and you may feel like you're being sheltered by them, but they're using what you have, and they're manipulating you, and this has nothing to do with the light. People that are drawn to this because of the love, you know, wanting love, or wanting money, or wanting, you know, wisdom, or wanting justice, or power. It's a sick, fucked up thing, and people are born into this in their families. And I have friends, actually, that their family, they were raised this way, and they started to pull away and started coming towards the light, and they found it was very hard for them. And you look at the families, they're big families, and, you know, they all hang together, and on the outside, they don't look this way. But, you know, they deal with vengeance, right? Crime, justice. They feel that they have the right to do this. This is literally black magic and witchcraft. So it's weird, because they'll actually call on their saints to protect them. You know, they're trying to get drugs across the border. They're trying to get, you know, child trafficking. I mean, it's a sick, fucked up thing. But anyway, that's what's kind of going on. So this is the energy, and what I saw working with me, this is what's been happening with around me. And like I said, you know, healers, we attract a lot of sick people, but we don't have to fix them all. It's not our job. So when you feel the energy is off around you, block, shield, protect, clear. Don't feel obligated to be there for everyone, because not everybody is there on our spiritual page or coming to you for the right way, for the right reasons. And sadly for me, you know, that people come to me thinking that I'm going to give them healing, you know, protection, and I make it very clear that the energy that I send, the Reiki healing and energy, will not be used towards the darkness. It can only be used to the light. Wow. Okay, the first two messages literally flew out of the card. Yeah. So those are the first two being used. And I wasn't going to give two messages from this one deck, but I guess I am now. So I'm glad that I wasn't going to bring this up, but Well, actually, because like I said, it got too personal before, and I was very emotional but I thought, you know what, I'm removing my emotions from this, and this is a good time for me to be able to do this after doing such deep healing and cord cutting and shielding protection with my highest spiritual twin, because there's no one stronger than my spiritual twin and myself together with our team, right? So I'm in a really, really high energy right now, totally protected, 100% sealed. My right hand's prickling right now, which means my right hand man is with me. And we have a wild card. Okay, we have a wild card. And I don't know who's gonna get it, but we got a wild card. So how will I do this? I think I'll put the two wild cards together, and yeah, that's what I'll do, because the other messages are, nope, it's got to go that way. Okay, so this is how it goes, and I've already chosen for myself. I'm going to give you guys the items that you can choose from. We've got the Herkimer crystal diamonds, Herkimer diamonds, with the fire quartz on the intention stone. We have the smoky quartz. Wish you could see this. This is what I held when I was doing my meditation. Did I say to you guys when I was doing the meditation? Oh, maybe I didn't. I'll tell you. I was using specific crystals when I was working with the other person, my client, and then I went to do the meditation with my twin, and I went to reach for them, and they flew off the bed. So I went to get them, and they weren't there, but this was. So my smoky quartz was meant to be held. So I you know, my eyes were closed, and so I was reaching across the bed, and I felt them, and I picked them up, and I thought, okay, here they are. But it wasn't, those weren't the things that I was to hold. What I was to hold was my moonstones, which are on fire, and the talisman. These are my twin, my spiritual twin, and these are our protective amulets, okay? This is why I wear these. The moonstones, mine, and this is my twins, the lapis with the moonstone connected at the heart. This is what Spirit asked for me to hold when I did our protection, clearing, shielding, and Reiki session, and it was intense. I gotta tell you, it was intense. So this was used in today's this is powerful for me. So, and then the fox. We'll speak about the fox. This is also a crystal, and at this moment I can't think of what this crystal is. I'll bring it up. But this to me is the fox. The fox came up, and we'll speak about why. And this is the shaman stone. Everything's connected. All of this is connected, because as I said, the coyote, maybe I haven't said it. I've got a lot I've got to say. The coyote is what showed itself to me, and I did speak about it, about this Santa Moreta. The coyote showed itself to me, but I heard, it wasn't the coyote. It was actually a fox that showed itself to me, but I heard coyote. So the coyote is this, there's something going on with that. The coyote is also, so the coyote is the trickster, right? The coyote speaks of adaptability, flexibility, protection, camouflage, but the coyote is also a shaman, and this is a shaman stone. So for myself, these two are mine, these two are theirs, okay? For you guys, take a look at what you want, okay? I'm gonna put you back down again for a second. This, you're all getting one main message, except for the shaman stone seems to get the, because their messages are shorter. I'm gonna ask for healing with the angels, because, and remember, and I never know what day it is, you guys. I never know what day it is. I never know what month it is. I never know what time it is. I work for myself. I rarely leave here. I don't pay attention to time, and that's something actually that indigos are known for. Is we're not really here. We're so in spirit that we often lose track of time. So I said yesterday the number 6 came up, remember? And I said that the 6th, that's 6th of July. That'll be in 2 days. Well, no, that's today. So all of this that was supposed to happen, there was something that was going to happen on the 6th. It happens today. That's what I saw happening. So I'm going to also give the little personal messages Oh, wow. Somebody got a time frame. Okay. I don't know what it is because I didn't see it. All right. So that's it. Ready to rock. And there seems to be a sense of urgency right now. I'm something about, and I'm getting a side message. I'm just going to put it in front. I'll talk about it after. All right. Now I gotta speak. I gotta speak about the fox. Okay. Well, maybe I'll wait and see if the fox comes up in one of our messages. Which means I will start with. I'm starting backwards. I'm going from right to left instead of left to right, which is a message in itself, and that is a message for the fox. Okay. So this is why this is coming up. I'm going, instead of going the direction that I would normally go, I'm going in a different direction, and that is your message. Whoever chose the Shaman stone, this is for my spiritual twin. Whatever direction you were going in, go in a different direction. Whatever they expect, you're going to do something different. That's what's going on. So, before I start this, since this is coming up for this particular messenger, and let me see who you get. 16 minutes and 9 seconds in, the Otter. Okay, this is interesting. This is really interesting, actually, because it's almost like. Well, I'll give you the message. So, the otter, as far as an animal messenger, a totem, the otters, they hold hands and they stick together so that they don't lose each other when they're sleeping, when they're in the water. And you think about the water as emotion. Hold on. And I kept getting prickles in my right hand and my left hand. So that's my spiritual twin holding each other's hand, so we don't let go of each other during this emotional water. The otter's asking you to surrender something. Let go of control. You're trying to control something. And the first message I get whenever I get the otter is, all right, so what comes to mind is, okay, sit back. But that's not what it means. It's not what it means. What it's telling you, they want you to open your eyes to the things around you, the wonderful things around you. You have forgotten how to savor the wonderful things in your life. They want you to open your eyes and look with new eyes, because these otters have been sleeping. It's time to wake up. You've been in the shamanic sleepy state, but you need to come back into reality here as to what's actually important. Because you've been overworking, you've been workaholic, you've been throwing yourself into your work, and Spirit wants you to take time out to play. Otters are known to play. They want you to find something joyful to do, lighthearted, energetic, instead of something that's grueling. You are an amazing worker. You are a go-getter. You are a doer. You're good at what you do. But you need to stop right now. It's very important that you take time out to play and allow yourself freedom of relaxing, letting go. Whatever it is that you have been worrying about is what Spirit wants you to surrender. And know that you're the one that you need to take care of right now. You need to surrender whatever it is that you feel that you've had to do. You need to surrender that. Let go of control of that. They also want you to let go of holding in. Let go of the controlling your emotions, controlling your fun, your childlike innocence. Stop being the businessman or woman. This is about letting go of your daily concerns, relaxing, care for yourself. You can't be of any use to anyone else at this point. You need to take care of you. This is about going with the flow, naturally, right? What did you do when you were a kid? What's fun for you? You may not even remember. You may not even have had a childhood. You're supposed to accept what is. We got this yesterday. My spiritual twin got this yesterday. Accept what is. That's the only way that you can move forward. You have to embrace the good and the bad and look for the joy. Go for it. This is about a new freedom of love and acceptance. A new freedom. Freedom, think about freedom in a lot of different ways. We have to honor everybody's right to be where they are and do what they are doing and allow things to unfold. So we sometimes want to work with somebody. We want to help somebody through a situation, right? Empaths want to save everybody. But sometimes they don't want to be saved. We have to allow everyone to be as they are. But a very, very important message for Otter. I told you they hold each other's hands when they're sleeping in their emotional waters. And right now, there's been a lot of sleeping in emotional waters. The Otter says, I told you I've been feeling the prickles in my right hand and my left hand. It's about rekindling a lost relationship in a lighthearted way, playfully, not seriously. And now I'm getting prickles in my right hand. My right-hand man needs to do this. Playful, lighthearted. Let go of the need to control the way it's going to go, the way things are going to play out. We have to just allow. That's the fun. Allow yourself to have the fun in it. Maybe, you're such a business person possibly that you're so used to having everything planned out, and this is the way things have to go, and this is habit. Or maybe you were raised a certain way and you're afraid to let go of control, or maybe others have controlled you. So you've learned that. That's a learned behavior. So that now you feel the need to control. I had a very controlling mother and a very controlling father. And I had to let go. I let go of my kids. I let them do what they needed to do. I had to learn in relationships to not try and control it. Just let it go. Let it go. We don't want anyone to come to us if they don't want to be there, right? That's no fun. We want fun here. Right now, Spirit says the reason you're okay to let go of control is you're safe now. You can relinquish the control. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you're giving up. It doesn't mean that you're walking away at all. It means that I don't have an agenda. I'm not going to force my agenda on anyone, right? We're not going to force anybody to do anything. That's no fun. We want fun here. So we want to stay there with our hands open and our hearts open. It's interesting because when I worked on my spiritual twin and I, that's what was prickling, and it's happening again right now as I speak. My left hand starts to prickle and my heart's prickling right above the skin above my chest. Because that was the emphasis for us, was the energy needed to be our heart chakra to open up. And I learned, if you guys watched today's reading, I learned that I was holding control. I was holding my heart closed. I didn't know that. I felt it was open. But I was so hurt that I was putting up a wall that I didn't know I was putting up. It was energetically there. And so that's why I worked on our hearts. Because my twin may have been bouncing off of my energetic field without me knowing it. And I'm bouncing off of his. He may have been pushed away, not knowingly, right? That's not an intention. So for our own selves, sometimes we think our heart's open, but it's not. We have fear of it not happening, of love not coming to us, or something not coming to us, of, I've given up, it's taken so long, and this has let me down. And so now you've got this protective shield, and we need to let that down. And allow life to, it's interesting because I said to my client, and of course it's always a message to myself. Every message that I speak out of my mouth is a message to me first. And I said, be like water, be water. Well, what's interesting is I am in a Pisces moon and my twin is a Pisces. So be water. What does water do? It flows, right? It ebbs and it flows. They float around in their water. They have fun holding hands floating around in their emotional waters. But also, water flows around obstacles. It doesn't try and bash its head against it. Now, it can, as a waterfall, if it, water, just a single droplet of water can drip, 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 and wear its way through. But that's in a negative sense. That's kind of like a nagging wife or a nagging parent or a nagging coworker or boss. You don't want that. We want to be fluid and adaptable, which now is going to bring us up to the fox. No, you know what? Maybe I think I'll bring up the fox when I go to the fox crystal. But we do want to be flexible. And what's more fun about this is with the otter coming forward. Why do I keep stuttering? I don't stutter. It's like somebody can't get their words out, right? And the person that I worked with said they felt prickling in their mouth, and I said, you need to speak, or you need to learn the words to use, or you need to is there something you need to say to somebody, or is there somebody that you need to be careful not to say something to, or watch the words that you do speak? I don't know, but prickles in the mouth, I found that interesting. And when I'm speaking about the mouth, the reason is, with Otter, surrender is about sensuality as well. Think about moving, flowing. Imagine laying with your lover in the water, holding hands, and just, you're at the beach, And, or you're like, what I'm thinking of is the Great Lakes, like in Wisconsin, okay? Because the ocean, unless you're in a bay, you can be in a bay. Let's put ourselves in a bay on the California coast, because this is where we are, because we want the salt water. Oh, it's interesting, I just got to tell you, you guys don't see me because I've got the camera turned around, but when my higher self starts really to come out, I start closing my eyes, and I don't realize that my eyes are squeezed tight right now as I'm talking. I must be visualizing, or I don't know. This is what happens to me. It's funny, I just bring it up to you just because I know that's when my higher self is taking over. So we're in the salt water, and it's a bay. It's a protected bay. It's farther north, Northern California, and the water is just kind of lapping, you know, and we're floating in the water and we're holding hands, and we've got our heads back, eyes up to the sky, but our eyes are closed. Feel that water moving over your body. Doesn't that feel amazing? Now, what would be even more amazing if that cove was completely private. Imagine yourself at a lake, in a private little cove. Nobody's around you, and you're completely naked in the water with your lover, holding hands. Feel that water moving over your body, sensuously. This is about sensuality. This is about merging. This is about family and playfulness. This is no mistake that this came up after we got the last message last night of the union. Today is the day. You guys are lucky to get this message. This is very cool. Now this is, this is the exact opposite of what we were just talking about. This is the wounded human ego. This is somebody who is gonna cause you to make things go sideways. This is not your higher self talking. This is your human side talking. This is the one who is going to work instead of allow the love in, because I've been hurt. And I'm going to allow my ego mind to mess up what my higher self really is trying to tell me. Your plans are about to go sideways, is what they're telling you. And it's talking about your own thoughts at this time. This is about worry. This is about fear. This is about, those are those voices talking inside of you. Anger, resentment, self-righteousness, arrogance, selfishness, greed, gluttony, procrastination, addiction. Are you addicted to work? Is that what's going on? Are you addicted to the negative self-talk? There is an addiction that's happening here. So right now, stop what you're doing and check your motives. Are you coming from your ego? Because clearly you're not coming from your highest self. What's going on in your life right now that are triggering these things? Because clearly there must be something that you have not let go of. Something that you need to surrender, which is what I was working on with my twin, right? Something, and I told you it was very emotional. Deep emotion. My body was racked with sobs, and all I kept saying was, let it go. Just let go. Let's let go. Let go. Let go of the anger. Let go of the blame. Let go of the ego. Let go of the control, the fear, the doubt, the anything. And I was bawling as I was saying it, and it was heavy coming out of me. Holy shit. That doesn't happen when I do that with myself. So that was coming through that needed to come out. So this is what's going on. Is there something in your life that's triggering unresolved past issues? Because it needs healing at this time. This would be a really good time for you to get Reiki healing. I'm telling you, what we did today was powerful. It's about reevaluating things. Before you take one more step and destroy what you are trying to manifest, you need to take inventory. Because this wounded ego has an influence over you. It's coming from the darkness, this dark spot inside of you. And I'm looking at this gestures. This is the Fool in reverse. The Aries card is the Fool, right? We are known as the Fool of the zodiac because we are the leaps of faith. We are the ones that will go, off to adventures. We'll go for it. We'll just go for it. But this is the Jester as well, in reverse, because he's not willing to take a leap of faith. He's not willing to trust his highest self. This one is like juggling. This is the you look at this, it's almost like the Two of Swords, which is juggling between what my higher self is telling me and what my ego wounded self is telling me. And right now I'm being really stubborn. You need to tap into this Shaman stone. You need to go into meditation, and you need to remove this ego, this Goblin, because he's only coming from a place of hurt. This is your inner child that needs love. You need more loving in your life. That's what needs to happen here. This also could be talking about something that's going on between you and someone else. And I told you, somebody that's been fucking with my life and ours, both of ours, is a Capricorn. And that's why the carnelian ring flew off my hand. It didn't want to be on anymore. It didn't belong. And it's a Capricorn and it's a tiger. And half tiger, half lion. It's a relative. It's a, I don't know. It's a tiger. Let me look up why I need to tell you about this. There's a reason. Tiger represents, I know that tiger comes up about a drug, right? It's, I don't want to go to power. I just know that I was given a picture. I was literally given a physical picture. I don't even know how I got it. You know what? It came to me in the mail. It literally came to me in the mail. And I've got it. I think I've spoken of it before, but I haven't shown anyone. In it it's a picture of my twin. Like it's him sitting there. And his hair, he's got very, very long hair. It's all combed over his face in front of him. And holding on to the side of his arm, just like that, was a tiger's paw and claw. So a tiger has a hold of him. So this is the dynamics between, or did at that time, and he wasn't able to see it. His psychic antennae, which is his hair, was covering his eyes, his third eye and his physical eye. He wasn't able to see that this tiger, this very, very jealous tiger that wants his attention and seems to want mine, it's strange, was in his presence. So right now, this also could speak about you having this energy. This is a battle between you and another. The dynamics between you and another. A tiger is a predatory female. She's sexually active. She's a sex maniac, basically. She's a nymphomaniac. When she sees a male, that's what she wants. She's hot for him. And when she doesn't have them around, or when she satisfies that, then she's single on her own. She's on her own. She doesn't need them. This isn't about love. This is basically about a woman stalking you as her prey. And that's what I saw, that tiger that had her hand on his arm. So this is somebody, probably this is the one that's dealing with the, what is that? Meretes. Why do I want to block that right out of my mind? Clearly I do. She won't have any female friends. And she's very, very enthusiastic sexually. So that's how she pulls you in. So it could be that there's a tiger like that in your life, that kind of energy. So you think about that. It's about sex, not love, right? So sex is power then. Sex is sexual. For this kind of a person, the energy is talking about sexual gratification. It has nothing to do with love. It's about power and control, which goes right back to what I was saying about why can't I remember the name of that? It's funny, Spirit doesn't want me to talk about it anymore. The Sente Murete, right? So this is about, so be careful about the dynamics between you and another person. Somebody that, maybe this is the problem. Maybe somebody has tried to control you in a relationship before. And so sexually, you don't want to go there. And that's a problem for you. Because you've fallen for somebody in a situation before romantically, and they were controlling and abusive to you. And this is who keeps coming after me, whoever this Capricorn is. It's a tiger. It's definitely a tiger, and that's why that ring didn't belong and why it needed to fly off. So this all comes up. You can think about this symbolically. You can think about this literally. It can be, and at this moment, you don't have to do anything. You know, as I said, for my spiritual twin and I, we have our protective amulets. We're totally protected. We're good. You are too. Just send loving energy to yourself and send that energy out. And then the goblin disappears. Because they lose their power when you don't give your energy to them. See, that's why that one was feeding on me and on my twin. They would come at you like they wanted you and cared about you, but it was about power and control. And as soon as you let go of them and release them from your life, they lose their power. When you stop responding to them, when you don't give them the attention, when you don't fight with them, when you don't give them any energy, they lose their power. Precious gift. Now this is awesome. Friendship, family, and love are precious gifts. Do not lose sight of what is most important. Clearly that is not talking about the energy of what we just saw. This situation will improve. Because look what you had. Yes, you have this, which could have been born of having that connection with that first individual. But you also have, where did it go? What was the first messenger that we were working with? We were working with power animals, weren't we? You've got the beauty of the otters, right? So the situation will improve. So don't lose heart. So at 35 minutes in, that was a lot longer than I thought it would be. I'm glad I only chose through the amount of cards that I did. So now we are going to the Fox. And this is with, who do we have here? We have the Shapeshifter Oracle. I haven't used this for a really long time. And wow, there you go. Wow, now I'm getting prickles in my right hand again. So remember I said we've got a lot of empaths want to save everybody? Right now we're being faced with a choice. There's two in front of us. There's one that you feel connected to. Now, we're going to do this a bunch of different ways. These are soulmates. Both are soulmates to you. Check out the lapis at your throat and the color of the eyes. One is a soulmate, but one is a how do I explain this? They're both soulmates, but one is your beloved. One you are meant to learn a lesson from and release, and the other is meant to stay with you. But you don't want to let go of either one. You're trying to hold on. We're wondering why you're trying to hold on. Is it guilt? Is it obligation? You're getting something from both of them. There's something that you want, something that you need, comes from both of them. You need to make a choice, though. You can't have both. And what's interesting is I've been given this message as well. I had to make a choice, but I had to make a choice before they were even in front of me. I just had to choose. It was my decision to make, and I made my choice. So you want to nurture these ones. Remember, we may want to be caring for someone, but sometimes they don't want our help. And sometimes what they want is our energy, our power. You are torn. There are good things about both, and there are negative things about both. But you can't walk in two directions. You can't be split down the middle. And Spirit says they're going to help you make the choice. How do you do this? How can I go in one direction and leave the other behind? You're worried about that person, or that job, or that, whatever the other choice is. It could be a person, it could be a job, it could be two different places that you want to live. It could be, I don't know, there's two choices in front of you. If it's a person, you're worrying that this person isn't going to be cared for. They won't find love. They won't be safe. But Spirit says that's not true. The anger that you think that you're going to have, you won't. You won't have that anger. It's not something that you're going to have to deal with. You're going to be safe, and they will be safe. The one you leave behind will be safe. And they will find the perfect person for them, because the perfect person for them is not you. So right now you need to choose, because you can't choose both. And you don't have time, because you're hurting everybody right now. And you are challenged with this. As I said, it could be people, it could be friends, it could be places to move, jobs, I don't know. But you need to do something, and you need to tune into Spirit and ask yourself, where do I feel at home? What feels home to me? Where do I feel safe? Where do I feel comfortable? Where do I feel supported? Where is my highest light? Where will I be moving on my spiritual path? That is the most important question. Because it may come only down to that. And that is the most important message. What takes you away from your spiritual path, and what helps you move towards it? What will help you grow in that way? Because right now the Spirit says you need to decide, and you're the one that has to make the decision. Because being passive aggressive right now is hurting everyone, and it's your fault. So you need to get clear and get steady. Maybe you need to go into a meditative state and get calm, but you know that, and you know, we already know. Our decision is already made. Flip a coin, and when it lands on something you don't want to see, you'll remember, because you'll be like, oh shit, that's not what I wanted. Well, then you know, don't you? And right now, something is too soon to tell. Harmony. You want harmony. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Remember, be like water. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. So you're focusing on there's going to be sadness and suffering and pain and disharmony. And Spirit's saying, no, there isn't going to be. You just need to make the choice and listen to your heart and go where you know you want to go. Now is the time when the fox message needs to come up. So you see this crystal, and it's in the head of a fox. The fox talks about adaptability, camouflage, like I said, being like water. They're playful. Your energy is too heavy right now. Where do you go where you feel light and happy? Where do you go where you feel you can be yourself? The fox is encouraging you to think outside the box and use your intelligence in different creative ways. Think outside the box. Sometimes we're looking at things the way it should be or the way others think it should be. Use all the resources you have. What are the resources that you have? Your gifts, the unseen and the physical, whatever you have in order to accomplish whatever it is that you need to accomplish today or through this. Maybe it's a research that you have to do. If you're thinking about a job, if you're thinking about a place to move, you know, maybe you need to do some research about where you would go. They have another message. It's interesting right now, focus is on the mouth because my lips are chapped. Why are my lips chapped? They feel chapped. Lacking moisture. Where do you feel emotionally connected? And I mean fed emotionally, because chapped lips, that's dry, you're lacking. It's like you're emotionally dehydrated. These circumstances require that you approach them differently than you normally would. You've got to look at things from a different angle. The fox is very intelligent. And the solution to the problem is at hand. The fox is the problem solver. And they're going to guide you, as I said, to a place of meditation, probably silence, until the way out is shown. Because right now it's too soon to tell. Right now you need to balance yourself. You're not balanced. You're not in a place of balance. You want to be in a place of harmony. And for some reason, where you're at, you don't have harmony. So that should tell you something. So the reason it's too soon to tell is because you have to get to this place, use a healthy combination of persistence and patience, and strike a balance until you pick that problem apart. Now, the fox is also talking about some other things. I need to charge. You do too, apparently. Where are you energetically charged? Where do you feel where you're not energetically drained? That's important. Are you having trouble adjusting to a new living situation or a job? Do you feel like you're barely scraping by? And when the fox comes forward, he's sneaky, he's sly, he's smart, he's very intuitive. He's telling you this is a signal to open up your eyes so you can see the situation for what it is. It's not, and not for what you want it to be. We want you to see it for what it truly is. Because when the situation is difficult, again, we have to allow ourselves to be water, fluid, adaptable. And you have everything you need. The fox says you have all the tools you need to turn whatever the situation is into a positive conclusion or beginning. Money, career, your living difficulties, whatever it is, you're able to turn it around. As the fox, you are very, very loyal, and that's probably your issue. You're intensely loyal. You're energetic, outgoing, personable, flattering. You're able to blend in. You're able to camouflage yourself. You're an observer. Observe things as they truthfully are, not as you want them to be. See, that's the thing. as empaths and healers, we draw a lot of sick people to us. You don't want to be in union or an alliance with someone who you need to fix. You need to look at it truthfully. We can't fix another person. You have to be whole yourself and then be with another that is whole. You have to have an equal. So if this is a partnership, there needs to be an equal give and take. If this is a relationship, same. If this is a job, you need to be in a place where you feel supported. You're the problem solver. You're creative. The fox is an eccentric one because they are able to think outside the box. You can do this. At 45 minutes and 38 seconds in, we go to smoky quartz. I wish I could think of what that crystal is. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't think that I was going to go this deep since I already gave you guys a reading today. All right, so this is mine. Mildew Fairy, cleanup time. Boy, that happened today. So right now, there's a lot of emotion that needs to be, maybe it's pooled up in a corner somewhere, it needs to be released. Well, that happened for me today. But it's also saying that, you know, emotions can be positive and they can be negative. So I'm thinking about the words when I said, my lips are chapped right now, right? So think about the words that you're saying, the words that are expressed. Water is emotion. If something is mildew, if something is toxic, we have to pay attention. Somebody is attached to you. Somebody is attached to you in a negative way. Now, I've done my healing, shielding, cutting cords. I called everyone in today, right? I've done that. So at this moment, they're not attached to me unless I allow them to be attached to me. Sometimes we allow people to stay attached to us by choice. So we have to ask ourselves, is this a holy alliance? Is this something that is in our highest good? Or is this something that's causing toxicity in our lives? As I said before, we're not here to heal and fix other people. This is about healing and fixing ourselves. It could be literally talking about the area that you're in. It could be, there isn't here. There's nothing freaking mildewy in this place because it's so dry and hot. Couldn't possibly live here, which is good. But right now, there might be something that could be useful that we've overlooked. Because mildew can also be positive. Blue cheese is my favorite cheese. That's got mold in it, right? Think about penicillin. Right now, there could be something, an aspect of yourself or the environment that you're in, something that spirit doesn't want us to hide. Now, my mouth is chapped. So it's like, speak. I need to speak my truth. Maybe I'm holding back. Are you holding back something? You know, I found out for myself that I came into this world, in this life, to express myself. Because in a past life, I wasn't allowed. I had a problem with authority. I had authority figures that were holding me back, that were stopping me. I was controlled. And so in this life, my lesson has been for me to learn how to speak effectively. What I want, when I don't want something, I have to speak. My lips are chapped, they're dry. They need to speak my truth. So right now for you need to open up to something. Because the health of whatever the situation in your life, whatever it is that's going on, it's going to be affected. It's going to be affected in a negative way or a positive way, depending on how you handle it. So there's something that needs to change. Remember I said what was going on today? It's steamy, it's hot, and it's steamy, right? There's no rain, just hot and steamy. So it's kind of like we're in a hothouse, we're in a steam room right now. And that's where things can grow. That's where negative energy can grow. That's where parasites can grow. Something needs to change. Now, in your physical reality, maybe you're using something that's too harsh. So what I've been using, I went and got this Blistex, medicated Blistex, because my lips were dry, right? But it seems to be making it worse for me. So the medicine that I'm using is not right. So for you, I'm looking at mushrooms grow in mildew. Somebody's using mushrooms in a way that's not in their highest good. You're using some kind of a medicine, but it's not good for you. So for me, I'm just going to use pure petroleum jelly instead of that medicated ointment, because my lips are literally peeling and burning now. Isn't that bizarre? And that's what it's supposed to be made for. So that's a message. You might be doing something that is supposed to be for something specific, but for you it doesn't work. It's reacting in a negative way. Isn't that interesting? But when this one shows up, there is something that's unhealthy. And you're either not seeing it, you're not getting it, you're not paying attention to it. What stuck emotion is within you? How can you increase airflow? Maybe in your home, like I've got big fans going in here. I've got one in the back and I've got one in the front. I can't have the windows open right now because it's like 103 degrees. Oh no, it's more than that. It's like 113. So I've got the air moving through here. I've always got air moving through here. Are you over emotional about something? You need to release those emotions. Do you need a fresh way of looking at something? Maybe you've got your emotions all stuck in one spot. Maybe there's a fresh approach that needs to be used. Unhealthy energy is in our presence. There is unhealthy energy in my presence. I know that. So I need for myself to find out where it is that I have not addressed this, because it needs to be addressed. It can't be rationalized and it can't be excused and you can't ignore it. So sometimes we allow people to do things because we love them. But this is not expressed in a healthy way. This is not to be allowed. Something has to change. Maybe we put up with inappropriate behavior because we're trying to make excuses because we love someone and we're trying to understand what they're going through. But the way they're going about it is inappropriate. And if they want to have our attention or our love, they need to go about it in an appropriate manner. Now, the first message we got, the first card, was about someone needing to make a choice. So, and there was the wounded ego, the juggler, right? If somebody's juggling, they need to make a choice. Don't come near me if you don't have a choice made. I'm not a part of that. Don't play games with me. I'm not playing games. If you want to speak to me, you need to speak to me openly, honestly, as who you are, truthfully. Right now, take the time to feel the love that surrounds you. So, yesterday I got a message, and I'm going to give you another one in a second here. Yesterday we got the message about somebody needs to talk to you. Right? Now here's an empath for you. Somebody needs to talk to you. There's a part of you that terrifies them. But there's a part of you that makes them, that you give them hope. And they have a message that they want to bring to you. Are you willing to listen? And I said, yes, I am. A lot of people, when I posted it on my page, a lot of people said the same thing. I am willing to listen to what you have to say. But you need to come about it in an appropriate manner. Now, maybe we've given them an opportunity to speak. You know, you can do this, but you're going to have to go about this in a different way. You're not doing this in the right way, right? But because we're empaths, we give them our time, we give them our energy. And then I got a message from Spirit, stop. Just because, you know, you're an empath, of course you can draw a lot of people that are not well to you, and they have issues, but you don't have to fix everyone, and you don't have to go and deal this. Because the message said someone wishes to speak with you. It's someone who can see things and sense things. So this is someone who has connections. And they're concerned about you. Why, I can't say. Not here anyway, see? So they couldn't say it in a public way. But they need your help desperately before it's too late. Because while something in you frightens this person, something in you gives them hope. Will you accept the message? I got that message this morning. And I accepted it. And they were inappropriate in the way they spoke to me. So I said, look, I'm not into playing games, but I'm going to ask for a couple of messages for you. And I got 2 messages. And when I went to say you, my phone typed a name. And it was a name that I know. And I said, that was not a mistake. So either this is you who's connecting with me, or this is your brother. In either case, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to give you these messages, and you do with them what you wish. And after that, the end of this conversation is done, because I'm not speaking with a phantom. And so I gave them the message, and I said, if you want me to give you, I gave them the front of the card, and I said, if you want me to give you the full message, I'll give that to you. But otherwise, this conversation is finished. And then they came back again, and all they gave me was an expletive. And I said, well, that can be taken, the first thing I said when they sent that was, well, that can be taken in a couple of different ways. And so I'm not doing this with you. So you can go kindly do that to yourself, and we're done. So I blocked them. So there's somebody with me. That's me, allowing somebody into my energy, because I saw that message and I thought, okay, maybe this is the person. And I was going to be awake and open. And I come from a place of love. However, people abuse our loving interest. People abuse our, they look at us like we are, instead of empathetic and loving, they think we're stupid. No, we're not. Our hearts are just open. Because I was working with this energy. The message that I was given. I have to be honest with you. Life was very stressful for me. I probably should have been more open and forthcoming about my feelings, because I held them in most of the time, and that was damaging for me physically and emotionally. I will admit to you now that I was deeply afraid during my life. I was afraid that you and others wouldn't love me if you knew who I truly was. I was deeply flawed, and that belief caused me to act in ways that were hurtful to myself and others. I apologize for hurting you. This message comes to me from a male that's a bit younger than me. So I thought, okay, this may be the person. But that is how you approach somebody. That's how you speak to somebody. And so when they came back to me again in the inappropriate way, I was done. I cut ties. I blocked them. I'm done. So this is what happens with empaths. Sometimes we want to give someone more of a chance. But we need to take the time to feel the love that surrounds us. We need to clean up this emotional dysfunction. Right? This is what's appropriate. The other is not. Now, did we get? Yeah, we got harmony, right? Wasn't that harmony for you guys? 1, 2, no, 3. Hold on. Why am I missing a card for you guys? Let me see if I dropped it somewhere. Just a sec. 1, 2. That's interesting. All right. Fear. I, Archangel Michael, am here to help you through the present time. I love you, I protect you, and I keep you safe. There we go. Trust that all is well. Accept my love and allow it to dissolve your fear. Now this is wonderful, considering we've got smoky quartz for protection, right? Take the time to feel the love that surrounds you. The love from Archangel Michael, the love and protection, and the knowledge that you are safe. And that you will be kept safe. There is no reason for fear. Beautiful. Okay, so at 58 minutes and 41 seconds in, we go to... Are we done? Maybe we're done. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I might have given you guys all of them. I think we're done. How interesting. I thought there was something else. I guess not. No, there's something else. Why is this stone not here? Why is this stone not here? Did I not move it forward? Maybe I just didn't move it forward? The smoky quartz? No, that was it, right? No, it wasn't. This is here. Why is this here? Maybe I just didn't move it forward. Geez, I hope I didn't not have the correct. I have to look now and see what I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did. I had them all out. Bizarre. Maybe I just didn't move it forward. Now there's a message. Maybe I just didn't move it forward. Push it forward. Move it forward. Maybe I just didn't move it forward, and we need to move it forward. We need to move ahead. We need the past. I feel as though I didn't give you the last card. Let me hold on for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there must be a wild card, and this is it. I don't know where this came from, but there's a wild card. So this is the Lantern Fairy. And this is interesting considering the message we got from the fox, that Spirit says you've hit a wall. It's a true wall. You have hit the wall. And this is, again, where we need to be water, but we need to also trust in Spirit, because at this moment, they're telling us that there's no way you're going to get over this wall, and you're not going to get under it either. There's just no way. But if you trust in Spirit, if you listen to the guidance that they are giving you, and you follow it, and you trust it, they'll show you a place in the wall where the wall has already come down. But stubborn thinking is going to have to be changed. Stubborn thinking, old shielding and protection. You have been protecting yourself, or someone has been protecting themselves. But now, instead of protecting them, and Spirit says they don't need to protect themselves any longer. They are safe. They didn't think that they were. They weren't probably before, but they are now. And yet they still have these protection walls up. So Spirit says, don't worry about it. And this is a message from me. This is one of the ones I chose. So I'm not going to worry about it. As I said, I'm not going to worry. I'm not worried about the darkness. I am protected in the light. So that's a message for you guys. You don't have to worry about whatever it is that's been concerning you. At this moment, you are protected. So you need to rework the walls and the maybe what they're showing you is, we were talking about boundaries when we first started. You need to rework your boundaries. Some of the boundaries, you're letting others in that shouldn't come in, and you're keeping others out that you should let in. So maybe I didn't move it forward, right? And wow, my heart chakra is really spinning right now for some reason. So there's 2 messages here, but there's going to be a third. So no, there's going to be 4. Why? What's going on? No, hold on. I'm going to put these back. I've got to do something. Hold on, you guys. Something's up. I'll talk to you about the card. Okay, so clearly somebody's being stubborn. They're used to having to do things a certain way. Maybe they're used to having been in control. Maybe it was necessary, as I said in the past, for them to have a shield of protection up because they were at risk of being hurt. And now this protection that they have up is now keeping others out. It was interesting. Somebody said that to me this morning. Maybe I didn't push it. I didn't push it forward. I needed to push it forward. I need to push something forward. I need to ask Spirit for myself. What would that be? What was it that I need to push forward at this time? I said my knight in shining armor must be in a, what did I say? He's on a turtle going backwards or something. What did I say? I was laughing. I put out a bunch of posts this morning that we need to talk about that are pretty cool. My prince. My prince is not coming on a white horse. He's obviously riding a turtle somewhere, completely confused. And that is the truth. But somebody said something to me that I had to listen to. And they said he may not be confused. He might have gotten pushed away. I needed to push something forward. I may have pushed away the knight, so he doesn't understand. So for ourselves, is this something that this is applying to in your life? Have you put up a wall? Is the wall so high that what you want isn't coming in? You need to ask, how was it that I have pushed my prince away? How did I push my prince away? Did I push my prince away? Am I looking at the wrong prince? The prince can be anything for you, whatever it is that you're asking for, right? But somehow there's a wall, and it's preventing what you want to come to you. So you're either looking in the wrong direction, or the wall that you have up is somehow being presented in a manner that's stopping what you want to come to you. So, and as I said, my heart chakra is moving quickly at this moment. And it's interesting because here we've got Herkimer diamonds, the fire quartz, and the intention stone. So whatever this situation is in your life, it's a challenging situation. I mean, you don't know what to do. But Spirit is going to give you the guidance. And you need to trust them. You really do need, we really do need to trust Spirit, even when we don't understand. Because the stubborn thinking can be changed. The stubborn thinking may be ours, but it might be the others. See, for me, I will ask. But the stubborn thinking, see, we've reached a wall. We have reached a wall. We've reached a barrier. So maybe we've come up against someone else who has put up a wall. They're trying to protect themselves. And they have needed to protect themselves, but not anymore. Or maybe not in the way that they are protecting themselves. It may not be us. Right? As I said, I was open to the message coming, but the person did not handle it appropriately. And I said, look, it's not going to be done that way. If you want to approach me, you need to approach me as yourself in an appropriate manner. And sometimes we struggle for words, and that's why my prince might be sitting there in a shell, confused. But then he needs to go into meditation and ask, how do I express myself? Because the way things used to work aren't going to work now. And it might be that, in our lives, we're now in a different place than we were before. We're not the same people we were before. If you want to approach me, you're going to have to approach me on my level. So, the energy that you're allowing in needs to be stopped. You may, like I gave that person 2 chances, and then they were blocked. It was done. We need to go where we feel love, kindness, a sense of freedom, trust. And again, as what we were speaking about earlier, we need to avoid anger, blame, judgment, hatred, ridicule, anything that feels bad. Does it feel bad? Don't go there, right? That feels bad. I don't like that. When I'm trying to speak to you from a spiritual perspective and you use profanity, that feels bad to me. You need to learn to communicate in a better way. This game is not going on. I don't play fucking games anymore, right? So let's see what these messages are. There's 3 messages. I'm sorry. Wow. It will require time and effort to bring it about. I'm overwhelmed right now. Okay. That I understand. So, I'm sorry, I'm overwhelmed right now. It's going to require time and effort to do this, to bring this about. Now, for all of us who received this, because this is the wild card, remember? It may require time and effort to bring it about. But there is a solution. Because there is a place in this wall where it has come down clearly. Because someone is saying they're sorry. And they're letting you know that they're overwhelmed right now. So how do we handle a situation like this? We send love to this situation. We ask for love and healing and protection. But you see, the thing is, we've already been shown they don't have to fear. They are not at risk of being hurt right now. They are safe. All they need to know is they need to go to where they feel understood, heard, where they sense compassion, peace, love, understanding, where they don't feel they're going to be judged. Maybe that's why they're overwhelmed. Maybe they're worried that they're going to be judged. Remember the message that I got yesterday? And the message came to whoever it resonated with. And clearly this message is going out to everyone. What this person had been through in their life. There's so many messages on my page that you guys need to see. I need to bring this in. I don't know how I can do this in this reading, but Where is it? Because remember yesterday, one of the messages, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the way things are ending. And you don't have to, and maybe things don't need to be ending. There's this, I lied and I said I was busy. I was busy, but not in the way most people understand. I was busy taking deeper breaths. I was busy silencing irrational thoughts. I was busy calming a racing heart. I was busy telling myself that I'm okay. Sometimes this is my busy. That needs to be understood. But the message to this one, I have come to be honest with you. Maybe this is this one speaking. Life was very stressful for me. I probably should have been more open and more forthcoming about my feelings because I held them in most of the time, and that was damaging for me physically and emotionally. I will admit to you now that I was deeply afraid during my life. I was afraid that you and others wouldn't love me if you knew who I truly was. I was deeply flawed, and that belief caused me to act in ways that were hurtful to myself and others. I apologize for hurting you. That is heartfelt. That's why I shared it. My response to that was tears are pouring down my face. The pain of feeling alone and unable to express your feelings. And because of that, allowing yourself to be drawn into situations that hurt you when all you were looking for was a place where you felt accepted. So you went to the kinds of places that where anything goes. They weren't judgy there, would they? But that wasn't who you were either. I wish I could have been that one. I wish you could have trusted me enough to be honest with me, with what was going on in your mind. But I guess if you had tried to do that before in your life and had met with ridicule or shame, you wouldn't have been inclined to open up to anyone else in that way. I have to admit I felt it was I felt I was a non-judgmental person. I really did. Believing that we're all allowed the free will to choose what we want for our lives. But after the things that I've been shown in my dreams, I realize I'm not that liberal. I don't want to see what I've seen, and I don't want to participate in all of the all sex, any sex, multiple partners, sadomasochistic, free love, free drug, hippie lifestyle. It's not who I am. I'm monogamous. I'm a heterosexual being. I'm drug free. So if that communal living lifestyle was that life choice, it wouldn't have been mine. I wouldn't even have wanted to have been around it. My heart is hurting now too. I just want my innocence back. I just want to unlearn all that I've been made to watch through your eyes. I'm sorry that you have felt so alone. And I wish that I could have been someone that you felt safe enough with to trust. Someone who could have helped you. And at this time, I wish you love, light, and blessings on your journey. And I ask that you find peace. Now, each of us has our own way of how we would handle this situation at this moment. If this was us that this came to. If somebody approached you with that, and not clearly the person who approached me this morning didn't approach me in an appropriate manner, but I just kept getting from spirit that that was what they were actually trying to say to me. I did. And so I told them, this is my boundary. You need to respect it or you're done. And they didn't, and they were done. Now, does that mean that my wall is closed down? There is a place in this wall where it has already come down. And if you approach it in an appropriate manner, you will get through that wall. And it will require time and effort, yes. But it's very understandable that you would be overwhelmed. I'm very overwhelmed as well. And it's interesting because Spirit told me this morning, and I posted it, I shared it. Someone is trying to get your attention by doing silly things to your mind. Curious as to why. They don't want your attention going elsewhere. You don't think they can see how you don't think they can see how you truly feel. You think you have such a poker face. Some things you can't hide. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. You already know something's not quite right, don't you? You're not stupid. You know when someone is purposely trying to plant a seed of doubt in your mind. They aren't going to come right out with it. You'd shut that down. They'll be subtle. However, they do know you well enough to know what your Achilles heel is. And they're going to prey on your insecurity and your doubt. So stick with what feels right to you. Come on now. You're smarter than this. Tap in. Your higher self is very powerful, remember? Call on your inner owl to see past the deception. Then once you allow yourself to see what's actually going on here, relax and start to watch and listen to what they're saying and doing. It's going to become crystal clear. Time to do some cleaning house. Stick to who and what you are vibrationally matched with. You can feel where that is. Now, the animal messenger that I showed was an owl. But it's not a regular owl. It's a blue-eyed black cat owl. So we tap into our owl wisdom and we ask ourselves, do we move on? Maybe I need to push it ahead. Maybe that was the problem, that I should have pushed it ahead. When you refuse to pay attention to what life is saying to you, life is going to find ways to point it out, right? They'll make it clear. Right now there's a collision of beliefs and attitudes and energies. And it's being unleashed, and it needs to be unleashed because it needs to be addressed. But Spirit says that an ongoing problem will soon be resolved in an unexpected way. And as a consequence, our stress levels and anxiety are going to decrease. And through this, exciting new pathways are going to open, and we're going to discover new possibilities for our lives. As this current situation is resolved, we will simultaneously, like at the same time, and subconsciously, let go of past regret or guilt that has only served to sabotage the creative possibilities that have been available to us for quite some time. It's time to shine, to open our hearts and use, see first of all, and then use our unlimited potential. We have this in front of us. Even though, yes, it will require time and effort, we can do this. Don't give up because it's not going in the direction that we want. There are different routes to take to the same destination. That's why we had the fox come and said, with the otter as well, we need to be water, we need to be adaptable, be flexible. And then I showed this. Look at this sneaky cat walking across somebody's paved back patio. They've just done that work, they've cleaned it all up, and look at that sneaky little brat. Mwahaha. There are some who delight in messing up the work you've done. Don't let somebody sneak in and walk all over something beautiful. Somebody is trying to cause an issue here. Set some clear boundaries. Make sure they don't try to make a permanent mark when you aren't paying attention. Only, yes, we can try and smooth things out later, but why go through all that hassle when you can stay 2 steps ahead? Don't buy into their game. And then this came up. A catbird. A catbird, this is like internet gossip. This is like texting, emailing. It can be just gossip. But it's a theme. The gray catbird. Now remember, if somebody is coming from a gray place, they don't have it clear right now. It's about language and communication. It's a bit of a busybody. So when its presence is arriving, it cautions you to be extra careful about what you say and to whom. Things are going to have a greater potential of being made public or being distorted. See, that person was trying to get me to say something so that they could use it and publicize it in a negative way. So, catbirds, they mimic. They're like mockingjays. They can pretend to be someone else, which is what I got. Because I already know that my spiritual twin wouldn't play games like that. He's above that. But people attached to him would. They would. So, remember how I need to push it forward? Well, as you move forward in your life, you may need to change your circle of friends. Not everyone around you is interested in seeing you improve. This wall of protection that you put up, you have got yourself walled in with the wrong people. You need to release some of them and let someone else in. The choice that we had between the 2 kittens, it's getting louder. It's getting clearer. Spirit knows the sadness, and they're there for healing for us. And if you feel trapped, it's because you have in some way created your own bondage. It's time to free yourself from the guilt and negative thoughts that keep you a prisoner, and allow the sacredness of life to flow. Again, water. You can do anything and be anything you want. You can go anywhere you want. Stop focusing on the negative and see the positive, because your own mental block is the issue here, right? It can make things seem bad that are good, and make seem good things that are bad. It's all a matter of perception. So in order to free ourselves from the negative attachments and the negative way of doing it, first of all, we have to see it. We have to become aware of it. And then when we catch ourselves having this negative thought, remember that the goblin that was going to cause things to go awry, that's what was about to happen. Be careful, right? You were about to have things go sideways. We didn't want that to happen. So replace the negative thoughts or action and stop and replace it with something positive. Be the magician. We are the magician, all of us. Right now, I've got around me jealousy. That's who was dealing with me this morning, was that tiger that's jealous. And around my spiritual twin as well. It's the wasp. I always think it's a female military person, the wasp. Somebody acts like a military person, so a controlling person with feminine energy. Anger, retaliation, jealousy. That's what's going on right now. So we have to be careful with the words that we use, but also, if you have a wasp come close to you, you need to swat them away. Because this morning, when I asked for a message after I did that beautiful healing between my spiritual twin and I was given 2 cards as well. And it's interesting because it ties in with this. So, being that this is a wild card, and we're gonna get the message here. I'm gonna pull it out and show you guys what I was given this morning. Come on, Sherry, where's it at? I got one first, and then I got another, and it was surprising actually. And it's not surprising now that I look at what we have in front of us. What I got was porcupine, innocence. Free yourself of guilt and shame. This one that's saying they're sorry and they're overwhelmed right now. Spirit's asking you to free yourself because you are being harder. See, empaths, we are. We don't need to be told what's wrong with us. We're harder on ourselves than anyone could be on us. We don't cut ourselves any slack. So Spirit is telling you right now, it's imperative that you take care of that wounded ego. That goblin that's speaking negative thoughts to you. Because this could be the stubborn thinking that needs to be changed at this moment. You are beating yourself up unnecessarily. You have to forgive yourself. Now, when the porcupine comes forward, I'm wondering if there's more than I have so much more. This is the longest message in the world. And I was trying to go to a smaller message. Right now, what they're telling you is the feelings of overwhelm and protection that you feel that you need. Spirit's telling you, again, you are safe. There is an inner mother and father watching you, okay? It's available when you need it. You can feel safe in expressing yourself. Right now, you're feeling like you can't. And innocence talks about innocently just saying what it is. Just say it. Without any preconceived plans or ideas. And this may have a lot to do with childhood. You may have had a very controlling person where, you weren't allowed to speak, or when you spoke, you were in trouble, or you weren't forgiven, or I don't know what it is, but it has a lot to do with childhood. And Spirit's recognizing this. They don't want you to be consumed with shame. It doesn't help you, and it doesn't help this situation. You are a gentle person, a gentle soul, and you never have intentionally meant to do anything. Like the message that I got from that person, their life was very difficult. They spent a lot of time afraid. They didn't mean to hurt anyone. They just wanted to be where they were accepted, and it led them to do things that were harmful to themselves and others, and they're deeply sorry for that. But there's no need to feel resentful or like you're a victim. And you don't have to be arrogant, because see, what happens sometimes is that's inside of you. That's one side of you. But on the other side of you is the tiger that had a hold of you, that raised you this way or taught you to be this way. That comes out, and then that's like the victim then becomes the victimizer. Right? Somebody who was treated this way then now tries to treat another this way and controls. Someone who's been controlled now wants to control another. It's the only way they feel safe. But Spirit says there's no need for that anymore. And whether others cause you to prickle or they're prickly towards you, Spirit wants you to let go of that. This is where humility comes in. Now, the next message, I asked for another message because I was confused going through the reading, right? All of this. I mean, this is like, who is this referring to? Who is speaking to us here, right? Who is sorry? Who is overwhelmed right now? I mean, I didn't get that this morning. I got a lot of other confusing things. I may have gotten this trickster that was coming in, the one that's jealous. Or it may be a part of this person that's feeling jealous. I'm going to say something publicly. I won't say a name. But as I walked away, what was called out was, so-and-so will be here soon. And I didn't respond. I found it confusing because the first thing that came to mind was, why would I care if that person was there? And I thought you weren't friends with that person anyway. Somebody has told someone a lie that something took place, and it never did. There's jealousy about something that isn't even real. It never happened. So that needed to be said. So if anyone else here has that same kind of message coming across to you, you'll know right away. But we need to let go of the past. Bless it, let it go, embrace the present moment, because there's a positive change. And it only comes through releasing the negative feelings that are associated to the past. Any guilt or regret, that's a misconceived notion that we should have done something differently because we did this. It turned out this way for a reason. This is about learning. And it might have been painful, but it was about learning and moving forward. We need to push it forward. Maybe that's the problem. I didn't push it forward. Let's move forward. Let's not go in the back. Let's not stay in the past. Surrender to the universe. Again, remember, you probably have a very healing aura. And because of that, you will attract a lot of damaged people. And because of an empath, your heart is open and you're innocent. You are innocent. And so you get yourself in situations that are difficult. It's difficult to get out of them. And then they're draining your energy. And you may feel, and see, this is like the karmic soulmate, the connection to maybe the two kittens. You feel obligated or like you can't let go. Yes, you can. Because they're draining your energy to the max. It's not your job to heal everyone that enters your life. It's your job to take care of yourself. And today's mass reading, the title, we really need to recognize that we are our own priority. I spoke about the Heyoka, the most powerful type of empath. My twin is a Heyoka. And I am as well. And when you're in the presence of a Heyoka, they push you. They push your buttons. They piss you off. They bring things to the surface to heal. They hold the medicine for chaos. It's a trip. They're very powerful. And the disruption isn't there to hurt us. It's the tower that hit us. They hit me on Sunday. It's to move us forward. And what's interesting is we may not even be aware that that's the type of empath we are. I posted if you guys want to read about what it is, the Heyoka. But I told you I asked for another card. And the card I got was the Grail Knight. And remember, we've had this a lot lately. We've had this a lot in a lot of different ways. It kept coming up in the Romance Angels reading. Remember the card, It's Safe to Love? And yet when you looked at the two, they didn't look like they felt safe because they don't. They're overwhelmed. They don't trust. They feel like they need to protect themselves. They are falsely covering up. They have a codependent issue. Even though they know that the one in front of them is real, there's a message here, however, I want to bring out. Who came to me this morning? Pay attention to this. You see this one with the red rose? Down on his knees before this one? This new person that has attracted your attention? And then this Grail Knight. See how they resemble one another? This Grail Knight is a noble knight. He comes in truth. He speaks the truth. He's holding up his chalice. He is humble. This is my twin. My twin is humble. He stands before you with broken glass at his feet. Remember? The cups, they got broke beneath our feet, but it wasn't my fault. Remember, Spirit says, wait till we're announced. We have not yet used all of our graces. The dogs will stay in chains. This is not a Grail Knight. This is the Grail Knight. The Grail Knight has his head down, and he is lifting his chalice, his offering his cup up, and the light is shining on him. You recognize the energy of your Grail Knight. I felt the energy of my Grail Knight. I knew him. When he comes with crystals in his hands, and he did. He's on bended knee. He is not proud. He's not arrogant. This one's standing with his head up, and he's holding up a red rose. Now, you guys are like, whoa, does that mean every time I see that message, that's a negative? No, but I want to show you something. I want you to pay attention to it because of what's going on with all of the binding spells. Do you remember what I told you? That the ritual of the one that is using the Santa Mureta cult practice includes a red rose and rose water. They will try to bind lovers. Stop the Grail Knight from coming to his true twin. That's why the two kittens, there's probably confusion. Someone is using binding. The one who came to me this morning, I got these two cards. I got the Grail Knight and I got Innocence. But I didn't get these cards when I asked for that person that contacted me. I got these two cards when I did the healing meditation between my spiritual twin and myself. The one who feels overwhelmed right now. The one who is sorry. This is what came into my mind when that person wrote to me. That person's holding up a red rose. That person is the tiger, the Capricorn, and my choice has been made. Now, all of this is for all of you. This is a way to read, right? When we get a message from Spirit and something grabs your higher self, like that one thing about the ritual, binding spells, using the red rose and rose oil, rose water to unite lovers or bind people. And then when I recognized my Grail Knight and I thought of this Grail Knight and I knew that that Grail Knight was holding out a red rose. Look at her face. She is disinclined because her higher self is telling her, pay attention to that. Pay attention to that one right there. He's got that red rose. That isn't your Grail Knight. You know who your Grail Knight is. You can feel his energy. Because clearly if I saw my Grail Knight in front of me, I would know who he was. But in a phone call, on the internet, in energetic, you may feel that you're connecting with your twin soul or your soulmate. You may even be in a relationship thinking that you're with a soulmate. And it may be a soulmate, but it's a karmic soulmate. And a karmic soulmate needs to be cut out of your life. You will know someone because they will walk their walk and they will talk their talk. This one stands from the pulpit. This one's name was given to me. It was the brother. That name was given to me, and it didn't happen accidentally. Stands from the pulpit. Acts a good act, but does not walk the walk and talk the talk. It's very clear who the Grail Knight is and who he is not. So for all of you, any message that you got out of this, remember, follow the light. Follow Spirit's guidance. If you get a hit on something, even if it doesn't seem to make sense at the time, okay, well, this is in by and large the Grail Knight, same message, right? Yeah, but not the way it was presented. In this particular reading, these are presented as two completely different people. This one comes in the light. This one comes with a tainted rose. Remember the offers? Someone's going to offer you a tainted offer. It's going to be tempting, but don't take it. You need to push it forward. All right, you guys, that's it. 1 hour and 33 minutes in, we're done. Love you.